Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I'm just chilling, just put my son to bed, all that good stuff, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're gonna talk about this photo that has resurfaced from Terence Crawford. Not resurfaced, but surfaced today from Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? A lot of people are concerned, insinuating that he's out of shape. We definitely going to talk about that. Then we're going to get into some open boxing topics. You feel what I'm saying? We already got a few comments in the building. Shout out to the boy Bad Boom Balloon. He says, what's good? Another rainy ass day in Mexico, so I'm clearing my photo gallery again during yesterday's live. I went from 5,000 plus photos to 2,100. Let's see what else I can get rid of. Yeah, bro. There's apps that you could download that could get rid of them for you, though, especially if like they're duplicate images and shit like that. You know what I mean? Salute the Bad Boom Balloon. The Cardenas, what up? Chris Maldonado, what up? He said, I hope you're doing well. Salute likewise, brother. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Justin Jackson said 2 days ago he was in shape. Now today he's out of shape. Y'all crazy. No, it's not me saying that. I'm just going off of what I've seen in the Twitter space, bro. That's all. You know what I mean? Just for the sake of content, the boxing content is slow. You feel what I'm saying? So, there's not really much for me to speak on besides this. So I figured, why not? You feel what I mean? I just want to know what the people think. I want to know I want to know what the chat is thinking. You feel me? I want to know what the nation is thinking. You know what I'm saying? And then based off of what I've gathered today, the photo that has surfaced on Ilia Topuria, who is a UFC world champion right now, he had posted a photo of him, I guess, walking into the UFC Performance Institute, or whatever the case is, and Terence Crawford was out there. So we definitely going to talk about this. There are people saying that, let me see. I've seen people speaking on this, and they were speculating as to whether, it came out today or not. And then, confirmed reports have pretty much stated that this photo did come from today. Let me see. What's that guy's name from Ring Magazine? I seen it on his page. What's that dude that be doing content? His name's like the Wade Factor or something like that. What the fuck is his name? Wade. What the fuck is his name, y'all? Y'all remember his name? J Cool 5 said, was that picture old? According to what I heard, is not old. That actually was from today. But I'm trying to figure out exactly what the fuck was his name? Let me see. The Wade Concept. So what's his name? The Wade Concept. We're going to pull this up just for the people to see. Let me see. Great Gambino, what up? Agent 86 in the building, what up? He said, who Drake betting on? I mean, whoever Drake betting on, you got to bet the opposite. Ain't that right? Don't he be wrong in a lot of bets? I think he be right sometimes too, but I guess that's just gambling. Let me see. The Cardina says, all I can say is Bud landed like 21 out of 98 jabs against Mazuma. If he stays in southpaw, it would look good. I mean, listen, Mazuma he probably was hard to hit because of his movement. The in and out herky jerky style. It's hard to get a time and really land clean shots on them type of dudes. One thing that we know for certain is Canelo Alvarez ain't going to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not seeing, Canelo do that. We not seeing him bounce on his toes. He not doing no motherfucking herky-jerky style. Canelo is there to be hit. And to be honest with you, Canelo's kind of a sucker for a good jab. We've seen that shit historically throughout his career. So I don't know if because he wasn't that accurate with Mazuma in the jab department that it's going to translate into the Canelo fight. They're different styles. You feel what I'm saying? Cardina said, if Bud have to come in weighing like 162 to 163, he don't need to be fighting at the weight. I mean, I agree. You know what I mean? This is a fight that I didn't even want to see in the first place. But, the fight is happening. So as boxing fans, I guess we're going to have to watch it. If he is coming in that light, like I'm thinking something's telling me that he's going to come in like 163, 164. Maybe he needs to come into that weight. He needs to come at that weight because first of all, he's not a full-fledged 168, and I don't think that Bud really. I don't think he plans on staying at that weight neither. So if that's the case, then he should come in. I think he can come. I think he can afford to come in a little lighter just to keep his mobility, his speed, his overall agility, his athleticism. You know what I mean? You don't want to put that additional 5 pounds on you, and then you feel off sluggish and fatigued. But what the fuck is this dude's name? My fault, y'all. I want to bring this to y'all attention because I want to know what y'all think about this. The Wade concept. His name is Wade Plemons. All right. So let's look at Wade Plemons' social media. So according to Wade Plemons, he said the pic is from today. So he was able to get some type of confirmation some way, somehow. And I don't think he would put that out there if he didn't know that definitively. You know, just being a responsible, journalist, I think he is, or a sports commentator, whatever he is. I don't think he would just come out and say that if he didn't have confirmation on it. So this is the picture right here. This is the first place I've seen it on Wade Plemons' account. Shout out to him for keeping us informed because it probably wouldn't have went over the radar if I didn't see it. Because I don't follow Topuria. So because I just don't follow the UFC that much, period. But this is the photo right here. And I guess Topuria was walking somewhere. That's his team ahead of him, obviously. He probably had his mans to his right side. And this is Terence Crawford dapping him up. Now, when we look at the photo that we had seen yesterday, let's actually pull that one up. They look totally different. You see what I'm saying? Let's see right here. Let's pull this up. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Let's bring this to the forefront. Let's bring this to the forefront. Damn, Ring Magazine posting a lot, boy. Where the fuck is the picture at? Wow, this shit's making this real difficult. All right, there it is. So I'm gonna actually share this whole. Wait, hold on. Let me turn this up. Let me share it the right way. Share the screen. I'm gonna share the full. I'm gonna share the entire window. Share the entire screen. All right, so this is it right here. Wait. Let me see how I look on the YouTube screen. I'm doing a little bit of a test right now. My apologies. There you go. So this is the photo that everybody is pretty much raving about at this point. It's a post from Ilia Topuria, who's currently a UFC champion, dapping up Terence Crawford and all that good stuff. And people seeing this picture of Terence Crawford, and they're being very concerned as a result of this. Now, I don't know if this picture is recent. I don't know if this picture is old. Something tells me that this picture is old. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because with that post that had just came out recently, there's no way that he just had a crazy pump like that. Now, all of a sudden, this dude's abs are non-existent. That's just really hard for me to believe. Also, when we're looking at this photo right here with Ilia Topuria, Bud has a lot of water in his system as if he was bulking up. You're not going to be bulking up this close to the fight. We are officially 7 days away from the fight. He's going to be weighing in 6 days, right? So just knowing how the way fighters cut weight and just being a part of many training camps, I know that right now, if Bud is doing anything, he's getting rid of water. He's not putting water on. That don't even make sense at this point in time. So this leads me to believe that this photo is old. You feel me? I don't know why people jump to the conclusion that this photo is new. I don't know. Wade Plemons said that this photo had came. Look, he says, update, the pic is from today. I don't know who told him that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't think he would necessarily. I don't know who gave him that information. But me personally, I don't know if I don't think he will come out and lie. So maybe he is telling the truth. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that being this far away from the fight and you looking like that just don't really make sense to me. And plus, when we go over to this photo right here, those are two different types of shape, two different types of physiques right here. So I don't know. Like, look at this. Look at this. You know, he got the muscle. Look at the shoulders. You know what I mean? He got the he in shape, but he looked like he had water in his system. This one right here looks like the water is slowly but surely coming off. So it looks like two totally different parts of the training camp to me. So in my opinion, my coaching, like from a coaching perspective, this is not a new picture. This is not a new picture. But you know what I mean? That's just my opinion. You feel me? I don't know. I don't know what anybody else is thinking. But yeah, just based off of the picture that I've seen right there, it leads me to believe that this isn't like a new photo whatsoever, even though Wade said that. I don't know who told Wade that. And if that's the reality, like if that's really the reality, and Bud looks like that's kind of concerning. That's kind of concerning. And it's like, how the fuck did you go from that picture being all shredded and cut up to looking like that as if you look heavy? Bud easily looks like he's like in the high 70s in that photo. You know what I'm saying? You look like you in the high 70s in that photo. That's not really a good place to be when you're 6 days away from the fight, especially when you never fought at the weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest with you, Bud should be in the low 70s as of right now and just maintaining. You feel what I'm saying? Eating whatever he want to eat. You know what I mean? Whatever the case is, that's what he should be doing. Or he should be on weight or a little bit below weight. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever the approach is, I don't know. But my personal opinion, I don't think that's a recent photo from Bud. I think that's Bud. I think he caught Bud at a point in time where he was, bulking up and he wasn't going through the cutting stages yet. Just my personal opinion. But I want to see exactly what the chat thinks. Let's see. Shout out to the boy J Cash in the building. Damn, we got a whole bunch of comments. Robert Jacobs said Wade made a minor error. That's all. Oh, okay. There's literally a new video that came out with Bud talking with Turkey. His braids are to the back, and this old pick, his braids are to the side. Oh, okay, that's a good observation. So maybe that confirms it right there. So, but it kind of confused me that Wade Plemons, who works directly with Ring Magazine, is coming out and saying that this picture came from today. It's kind of concerning. I wonder who told him that. That picture today is probably him at 168. That's definitely not 168. How the way he looks in that photo, he's definitely high 70s, if I had to guess. Probably cracking the 80s in that photo. Who fucking knows? Because Bud walking around weight is like the mid 70s anyway. So I'm almost willing to say that he's in the 80s in this photo. A lot of water in his abdominal area. So yeah. If he looks like that 6 days away from the fight, I would be kind of concerned, but I'm going to give Bud the benefit of the doubt and say that this is an old photo. Marlon 2631, what up? Cardina said, if any athlete is past age 35 and say, I'm in the best shape of their career, it's a bold-faced lie. Snacks help fighters cut weight faster and rehydrate faster. These are facts. I mean, they are like I'm sure Victor Conti done said that in the past. He does like a specific type of blood work to see if there's any deficiencies. And you know what I mean? He does like high interval training. I've seen an interview from Victor Conti. He believes that high interval training is the way to train as a boxer. He feels like road work is actually detrimental to fighters. You know what I mean? They said that it could develop slow, what's that shit called? Like develop like some type of fibers within the muscles that like slow things down. I don't know exactly what it was called, but he had like a whole case as to why road work is not good for boxing. I disagree. You know what I mean? James said you had to count lighting as well. Even my fat ass looked decent inside. with good lighting. I mean, I don't think that lighting could really. I see what you're saying. Lighting can make a difference in the photo, but these photos look night and day. To be honest with you, you see what I'm saying? We see one photo where Bud's abs are completely defined, cut up, ripped up, and then in this one right here, his abs are almost non-existent. So I don't, and he out in the sun. In that one photo, he outside in the sun, probably in Las Vegas or whatever the case is. So, you know what I mean? If he was really ripped up, he was defined, it would have showed in that initial picture. You know what I mean? They two totally different weights. He, in both of these photos, he two different weights. To be honest, in my opinion, I don't know. I never see him on a scale, but it look like two totally different weights. Bud looks bigger than me in that pic. 5'7", 182. Yeah, I mean he looked big. He definitely looked big. So something's just leading me to believe he might come in full-fledged 68. Agent 86 said, "We know. I really hope this pick is not from today." Me neither, bro. Me neither, because I ain't gonna lie. Like, as a Terence Crawford fan, I'd be kind of concerned. Like, bro, why is you like this heavy 6 days away from the fight? You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, maybe he the type, because I know fighters that are fucking cut water last minute. You know what I mean? Be at a certain weight for a couple hours, make the weight, then go get an IV or rehydrate, replenish, whatever the case is. I don't know exactly what his approach is to cutting weight. Different fighters got different strategies, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying that he's out of shape. I don't think Bud, who actually lives the fighter lifestyle, stays in the gym, I don't think you'll ever catch him out of shape in the lead up to a fight. But definitely looks heavy. Definitely looks heavy. You see what I mean? You said Victor does blood doping. That's why his fighters will never piss dirty if they were dirty. Well, if they do blood doping, don't they do blood testing? So they may not piss dirty, but when they fail the blood test, if he's doing blood doping? Listen, I don't even know, bro. I don't even like to get into them conversations, bro. I know channels that base their whole channel around the whole snack bullshit, corny shit, to be honest with you. I don't know what the fuck Victor Conte be doing. I already just said that. I don't feel like he should be in boxing, just like how he's permanently banned from other sports. He shouldn't be involved in boxing. However, you know what I mean? Like, if they choosing to work with this man and they still, coming out with negative tests, it is what it is, man. I can't really criticize. On here, we definitely criticize fighters for being dirty. Canelo, Valdez, Jaime Munguia, Billy Joe Saunders, you name them, we criticize them for it. But it's like, you know what I mean? From what I heard, people collaborate with Snack for different reasons. There's people that don't even go to the Snack facilities. They just take some sponsorship money to promote them supplements that he makes. The ZMAs and the fighter pack, whatever the case is. People involve themselves with Snack for different reasons. And I know fighters personally who are sponsored by Snack but don't ever take their supplements. I don't think he beloved. Listen, I don't know. What I'm saying is, I've always been one of those people that feels like Victor Conte should not be in the sport of boxing. Been saying that, but at the same time, these niggas is grown ass men. I can't tell them who to be around. I can't tell them who to collaborate with, who to take. I'm not pocket watching these niggas. I'm not telling. I'm not going to prevent these niggas from getting paid or criticize them for getting paid. Go get your money, but the moment that you fail a PED test, you better believe Mazuma TV going to talk about you, and we going to criticize you, and we just going to add you into the PED Hall of Fame. We gonna add you to the PED Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Ryan Garcia and that motherfucker, Valdez, Jaime Munguia, Dillian White, Gerald Miller, Shannon Briggs. Like, all y'all niggas is in the PED Hall of Fame. You feel me? So if you want to get inducted into the PED Hall of Fame, feel free, brothers and sisters. Alexander Povetkin, All them niggas. Y'all want to be on the PED Hall of Fame? Just go ahead and slip. Go ahead and make a miscalculation. Dillian White is a first ballot PED Hall of Famer. Facts. You said Mayweather. Mayweather never tested positive for a PED. Yeah, Roy. I heard about Roy. I forgot exactly what the details was on that. Oh, yeah. Definitely Alicia Baumgartner. She's showing some ass with a bathing suit on the boat. Niggas be like, oh, man, fuck the PEDs, man. You can cheat all you want. Shit, cheat on me. Simp ass niggas. Silks Bando in the building. What up? Wait, hold on. Let me address Ralph's comment. He says, I don't think the pick recent, in my opinion. I can't see Bud looking like that this close to the fight. Yeah, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt for sure. You know what I mean? It's up in the air as to whether that photo is old or not. I don't know. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he is a true professional. I never heard of Bud missing weight or not being prepared for a fight. So, you know what I mean? There's no reason for me to doubt him unless I'm a Terence Crawford hater, and I never have been. So, Cardina said, boxers don't go to Victor to hang out and drink a beer to enhance their performance. Like I said, Cardenas, people go to Victor Conti for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they go to the snack facility, they do the blood work. You know what I mean? They really are involved. Like Victor Conti is involved in their training. Then there's other people who never been to the snack facility in their life, probably never even met Victor Conti, but they agree to a sponsorship deal. Victor Conti gives them money to promote a product. He sends the product to them and he posts it, and they promote it with their snack shirts on and they supplements. Like I know for a fact Boots has never been to the snack facility. I know for a fact he's never collaborated or done any type of strength and conditioning work, high interval training work with Victor Conti. However, Victor Conti has paid Jaron Ennis to endorse his supplements. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah. People collab with Victor Conti for different reasons. There's fighters that Victor Conti is hands-on with more than others. Holyfield, yeah, they ain't never Cardenas is funny as shit. He said, yeah, those that get sponsored, he getting that high power shit. Well, listen, Mikey Garcia went to the snack facility and trained with Victor Conti to fight Errol Spence, and that shit ain't work. So I don't know, man. I don't know how legit his process is, or whatever the fuck you say he doing, his blood doping, whatever. I don't know, but I ain't trying to get no cease and desist letter sent to my address or nothing like that. So I'm not gonna say too much about Victor. Well, Victor can't tell me shit. He publicly done got caught. He can't tell me a motherfucking thing. But I'm not gonna accuse any fighter to be on PEDs. If they fail the test, that's when we on them. Mikey didn't get the premium pack. Shit. Damn. That's crazy. With the money Mikey got, you think he could afford it, right? You see Silks Bando in the building. He said, Mark, do you think the undercard not stacked because Dana White put his fighters to give them shine on his stage? I think the undercard not stacked because Dana White probably don't want to pay these motherfuckers what they want to be on the card. There could be a multitude of reasons as to why the card ain't stacked. I can't really tell you. Maybe Canelo took the majority of the budget because, it's just like when an artist, right, like an R&B artist, like that guy Giveon, right? He just dropped the album recently. Let's say the record label he signed with, like, yeah, we gonna, you know what I mean? We gonna give you $2 million for the budget for your album. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta make this shit work. You feel me? And Giveon spends $1.9 million on features. Now he only got $100,000 left to give to the music videos, whatever the case is, I'm not saying that he would do that, but it's just hypothetically speaking, that's, you know what I mean? That's what I guess Canelo Alvarez could have did. Maybe there was $100 million budget, or maybe a $60 million budget for this card, and Canelo probably took 50 million of it, and Bud probably got however much. I don't know. Let's say it's $100 million budget. Canelo probably got 60 million. Bud probably got 20 million, or 30 million, or 40 million, or 35 million, and then like the 5 million spread out between like 8 niggas. Like I don't know. If I had to guess though, maybe Canelo took the majority of the budget, because I heard he'd do that. I heard he'd be taking all the money. You know what I mean? So if I had to guess Silks, that's probably what's going on. I don't know though. Yeah, Kenny, I know exactly what you're talking about, brother. It was kind of funny though, because they said that they had sent like performance enhancement drugs to somebody by the name of Evan Fields. Mind you, Holyfield's name is Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield, they sent PE, they had like a prescription or something like that. I don't know, I forgot what it was. They had sent something over to Evan Fields. And they said supposedly when they called the number that name was attached to, Holyfield picked up the phone. Now, me personally, my opinion, if Holyfield was on the shit or not, it looked like it. It looked like it. Like how the way he looked at heavyweight, how the way his shoulders looked and all that, like he didn't look natural. And the fact that he had that much muscle and he was still fought, and like he had the type of conditioning he had, he was either like a rare form of athlete, or he was on something. I don't know. I'm not going to confirm or deny. I'm not going to sit here and just flat out be like, oh, Holyfield's on that shit. But made me scratch my head, though. Yeah, he never test positive. So I can't say that he's a dirty fighter. Just like Pacquiao, I've had my suspicions about him. You move up 8 weight classes and you getting stronger and faster as you move up. It's not how that usually happens. So either these guys are just once in a lifetime type of athletes, or they doing a little something. Pacquiao had a lot of weird shit going on in his camp, though. A lot of weird shit. We talking like fire and strength and conditioning coaches, because they was making shakes and didn't want to disclose to Freddie Roach what was in the shakes. Then Pacquiao refusing to take PED testing when Floyd had offered it. Talk about he was scared of needles and all type. Mind you, this motherfucker had tattoos saying that he's scared of needles. Then he was like, oh, I'll do drug testing, but you know what I mean? Not 2 weeks. We cut it off 2 weeks before the fight. And, you know, ironically, it takes some forms of PEDs take 2 weeks to really reap the benefits off of them. So it was a lot of weird shit with Pacquiao. Pacquiao would get like calf, like real bad, like calf pumps, like cramps and shit. And that's like a huge side effect of like HGH and all. Like it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit. So I can't say that because Pacquiao do sue niggas. He sued Floyd when Floyd was accusing him. He sued Floyd and Floyd had to settle out of court. I remember that. So I ain't gonna say nothing. You never know who watching. Pacquiao like to sue niggas. You feel me? So I ain't gonna definitively say that somebody's on PEDs, but it do be looking kind of suspicious. Like you telling me that you was getting knocked out. He was getting knocked out in them small weight classes. Like all you gotta do is look at Manny Pacquiao box rec. Manny was getting knocked out at like 115 pounds, like getting sparked, right? Put out. Now they could be like, oh, he was malnourished. He was poor in the Philippines. Sound good. You feel what I'm saying? But like I said, you look through his box rec, he was getting KO'd at 112, right? So you getting hurt like that. You move up 8 divisions or whatever the case is, and you eating punches from Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto was knocking out niggas that was always bigger than him. He was knocking out, his power translated to middleweight. And Cotto was a small 140. and Cotto hits you upside your head, he break the cartilage in your ear. I heard he busted your eardrum or whatever the case is, and you ain't even fucking flinch. Margarito hitting you upside your head, you taking them punches, but you was getting rocked at 112. Then ironically, soon as Floyd started accusing you of being on them PEDs and it started getting hot around your camp, and when Trevor Ariza left you, all of a sudden you wasn't getting knockouts. All of a sudden you wasn't getting knockouts. So now it's like, you was knocking all these motherfuckers out. You had the killer instinct, the combination punching, the conditioning, all that. Now you still got the speed, you still got some pop behind your punches, but now it's like the knockout's not there, the killer instinct not there. It was super, super weird, bro. Super weird. So a lot of shit made me scratch my. Even being young, I'm like, what this motherfucker doing ain't normal. But can't really say too much about him. I had my suspicions, but I'm not going to definitively say that he's on PEDs because he never popped. But you know, it was so funny. Where did he fight? He fought Lucas Matisse in Russia. Was that Russia that he fought him in? Where did he fight Lucas? Where was that at? He fought him in Malaysia. He fought Lucas Matisse in Malaysia, right? He did a lot of fight. I think he did all his fights in the U.S. where they, doing drug testing, they watching and all that. I think he fought Jeff Horton in Australia and stuff like that, but he lost the fight. Doing his fights in the U.S., doing his fights to the U.S. Then all of a sudden, he goes to Malaysia, and he looked like a killer again. He looked like a killer again. Like he looked like he turned back the clock, then went and fought Adrian Broner and all them, Keith Thurman. Then he looked like his regular self. I don't know, bro. Super, super weird. Conor Ben blamed the egg. Shit. Marlon 2631 said, Mark Manning just a different breed. I guess you could say that. Yeah, I mean, there's not enough evidence to really disprove that. Maybe he is a different breed. Maybe he is. You might be right. I don't know. But he looked at Pacquiao it's just weird, bro. Like you came all the way. Like, there's a reason why Pacquiao is the only 8 division world champion, bro, because that shit's like almost impossible to do. De La Hoya did 6 weight classes, but De La Hoya was a big fuck. Where he started at 26, De La Hoya, 26, 30, 35, 40, 47, 54, 60. No. I think he started at, where De La Hoya started at 130, and then he got titles all the way to 160 or 154. How many weight classes he went up? He did 30, 35, 40, 47. Yeah, he went from 130 to 160. Okay. But De La Hoya was big. He had the frame to get that shit off. You feel what I'm saying? So like that was understandable. He just happened to be real young at the time when he was at 130. He could afford to make those weight cuts. But as he grew and matured, he had the height and the frame necessary to acclimate to those divisions. But Pacquiao, where Pacquiao won his first weight class at? Oh, yeah, 112. 112 to fucking 154, bro. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up that information for you right now. Titles in boxing. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, what? So he got a world title at 112, then 122, 130, 135, 147, 154. I'm missing something. Then he got a title at 126. Where's the other one at? $112. We're about to figure this shit out right now. From flyweight to super welterweight. Flyweight, super bantamweight, featherweight, super featherweight, lightweight, light welterweight, welterweight, super welterweight. That's fucking insane. That's fucking insane, bro. Like, yeah, that like, bro, that's like in Anonymous, I was saying this. That's like the equivalent, and I said this before. That's like, yo, bro, bring Nayu and Inoue to 54 and had that nigga beat Jermell Charlo. Like, that was like the equivalent of what Pacquiao did, and nobody was suspicious about it. And then it's like every time when you move up multiple divisions, you start to lose shit. You know what I'm saying? Like your conditioning might not be as good. You know what I mean? You might not be as fast. Your punching power might not be the same. I seen niggas move up one weight class and they power be totally different. Reflexes slow down. You know what I'm saying? Like shit changes. Pacquiao moved up from 112 to 154 and was even better. Was throwing even more punches. Wasn't fat. Nothing. I'm like, what? Like super fucking weird, bro. It's really suspicious. There's a few fighters today that I watch and I'll be like, suspicious. But I don't say anything because I can't prove it. Hey, man. These niggas might just be once in a lifetime talent, Marlon. That's a fact. Tio, for example. Tio started boxing real young. Real young. Had to be like 7, 8 years old. Canelo was fighting bigger guys. They take more punishment. But you see, look, let's use Canelo for an example, right? I personally believe that Canelo's best days was like when he was fighting at 155 catch weight and 160, right? Y'all seen when he went to 168 and 175 that he was still good. But like he stopped really throwing punches and combinations. His conditioning wasn't as good. You see what I'm saying? Like his feet, like his defense wasn't, his upper body movement wasn't as fluid. Like you lose things. You know what I'm saying? And that's normal. So when I see somebody moving up weight class and they just steamrolling everybody, like that Miguel Cotto fight blew my mind from Pacquiao. I ain't gonna lie. He like every time he hit Cotto, he hurt him. I'm like, huh? Cotto hitting him. Cotto running with a hook. Bing. Fucking like Pacquiao would be. I think he said Cotto was the hardest he ever been punched. But he didn't even look like it. He didn't even look like it. You see what I'm saying? Then Margarito, this man done took punches from everybody and their mom. Don't swell up or nothing. The moment Pacquiao hit him, he breaking his orbital, fucking ruin his career. This nigga Dust 22, you trying to start some problems, but fuck it, I'll answer it because I don't care. He says, question, Mazuma, do you know who manager Marty manages? He don't manage anybody but his motherfucking self. That nigga manages his time. Only thing he manages his motherfucking YouTube channel. I don't know anybody in Philly that nigga managed. I reached out to somebody who, you know what I mean, knows him. And I was like, Because when I first heard him, I'd never seen him on the boxing scene or nothing. So I'm like, all right, he a manager. That's what's up. He be having his little suits on with his ties and shit. I'm like, all right, let me see. Who this nigga manage? So I talked to the dude. He's like, oh yeah, well, he used to manage this guy, and that's all I know. I'm like, that's it. And he don't manage him no more. Nah. So that nigga but the nigga only been the fighter that he was talking about in particular don't even got 10 fights. So how long was he managing the nigga really? So I was really like confused. I'm like, he calling himself a manager, but he only known for getting on YouTube and making accusations about niggas being on PEDs. I don't know, bro. I don't fucking know. That motherfucker couldn't tell me nothing about the sport of boxing or the business of boxing. You feel what I mean? Shout out to my father, Lando Rosa, man. I love you, man. I love you to death. You already know that. Real manager who could tell you the ins and outs about the business of boxing. Lando Rosa. Shout out to the real managers out here, man. Agent a dickhead. He said he just Marty. Nah, he not even Al Heyman Cardenas. That's disrespectful to Al. I'm sure Marty would love that compliment, but he is not Al. If I told you the nigga he managed, you'd be like, oh, this nigga a bum. Like, not a bum, but like you don't know him. You feel me? Compare him to Al, man, that's crazy. Al probably look at you like, nigga, motherfucker, you just compare me to that nigga. But Anonymous said, yeah, that Margarito shit was crazy. That little motherfucker Pacquiao was punching on Margarito who dwarfed him. Bro, it was so fucking weird. Like, it was so weird. I said, bro, this nigga's not human. Like, bro, when I was a young boy, I was thinking that. I'm like, yo, this nigga's like a superhero, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, I was like genuinely concerned for Floyd at that time. Floyd peeped something. He like, even he knew, because he came up in boxing his whole life. He know when some shit ain't right. He like, all right, like, we could fight, but we gonna do this random blood and urine testing. Oh shit. All of a sudden they whole energy switched up. That's like everybody who's a doctor all of a sudden and ain't finished high school. Yeah, I'll be knowing bitches that be saying they nurses, right? Like, they got that shit on their IG bio. Those women that I knew from the past and shit, they nurses. Whole time these bitches is phlebotomists. You know what a fucking phlebotomist is? The people who put the fucking needles in your veins to like do like blood work and shit. Like, if I want to go check my iron or something, I go to the clinic or whatever. They sit you down in the chair. You know what I mean? They put the phlebotomist. These bitches be phlebotomists talking about they nurses because they wear scrubs like the nurses. All right, if y'all get the fuck on what Young Thug said in them calls, man, watch out. But you can pay $15 an hour to draw blood. The real nurses I know, they making crazy money, 40s, 50s an hour. That's not even with overtime. You know what I mean? Like, I know physician assistants that's getting to it. Like, stupid money. These bitches be lying, bro. You cannot trust these bitches, bro. And I know people that went to school, got degrees, just to say they got degrees. Like, bro, these niggas be flexing degrees, don't be making no money off of them. I'm like, bro, you got robbed. Oh, like, do you know that? Like, you went to school, you took out loans, you paying that shit off to this day. You got a degree hanging up on your motherfucking wall at your mom crib or whatever the case is, or in your crib, but you ain't making no money off the degree. You literally just got to sit it there, collecting dust. Your mom got to wipe it down with some Windex every other month and shit. Like, bitch, you got scammed. That Goodfellas said Dr. Umar. No, Dr. Umar is a legit psychologist, though. Like, he worked for the school district of Philadelphia. His degrees are real. I seen people try to pull his card and call the school. They confirmed that his degrees are legit. So I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna put no disrespect. Like Dr. Umar, you know, with his school and shit like that, you can have your opinions and stuff. I don't know what he doing, but one thing I do know is that he's a legit doctor. Like he does not. It's not like what's his nigga name? Yeah, like Dr. Phil. I think he got like his doctor in like clinical psychology, but the nigga not even licensed no more. Hoes either nurses or nail techs in 2025. Yo, why you talking, man? My girl a nail tech, bro. That's crazy. Yo, apologize to my girl, Silk. Stop playing with me, man. Who else gonna do the nail tech? Who else gonna do the nails, bro? You want niggas to do them? Do you want your girl to have a male nail tech? I know I don't. He said, Dr. Umar ducking that sit down on Charleston White. No, nail tech, I know for a fact nail techs make good money. Bro, where I'm going live from is literally a nail tech desk. Look, this is literally a nail tech desk, bro. That's the shit right there to collect all the dust and all that. These chairs are where they sit when she's doing their nails. Nigga, let me see. Where's these fake hands at? This is a legit nail tech desk. I paid a lot of money for this desk too. Oh, there's a whole hand out this bitch. Yeah, Dr. Umar is a real doctor. He has like his doctorate in clinical, I think in psychology. Some form of psychology. He has his actual doctorate. He went to Millersville University, which a lot of people from Philly go to. He went to a few different schools. Umar didn't pass no state exam. So how was he a licensed psychologist under the school district of Philadelphia? So Umar didn't pass no state exam? Oh, he's never held a psychology license? He holds degrees in education and political science and is a doctor of clinical psychology and a certified school psychologist. I thought to be a certified school psychologist, you had to have a psychology license. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah. See, look, and that's what made me really fall off with Dr. Umar because I love this message. You know what I mean? I love what he was standing for, like keeping black families together and all that, and speaking on like a lot of things. You know what I mean? Trying to empower our black people to come together and build our own schools, build our own banks and supermarkets and things like that. I'm with that. I love that type of shit. I love anybody that pushes that. And to be honest with you, Dr. Umar is a very, very intelligent person. Very intelligent person. But But when I heard about the daughter, cause I always wondered, I'm like, yo, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt because he a brother, you feel what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, this nigga's traveling the world nonstop. When he got time to be with his kids? Because he always talked about his 2 daughters. So I'm like, okay, he got kids. That's what's up. But like, do he be spending, like, he always kept them like in the shadows. And I'm like, he said like his daughter was older. So I started to do some research. I'm like, yo, who is his daughter? I couldn't find his daughter for the life of me. Then all of a sudden she come out and talk about how Dr. Umar ain't even in her life and he used to beat on his mom. Now, listen, I don't know. That's messy. I done been accused of shit that I ain't never do. But one thing I am going to say, and this is no excuse because a deadbeat is a deadbeat, I think that Dr. Umar definitely got some deadbeat in him. You got 2 daughters, and you don't even be active in neither one of their life because you allow the mother to alienate them from you. That's sucker shit. And I know that personally. I fought for my son. I was waiting. I damn near waited. I fought for a whole year to get the rights that I deserve behind my son. And I got my son right now here with me, sleep in my crib. This is his home because I fought for him when she attempted to alienate me. I know this shit. You feel me? There's no way Dr. Umar couldn't have fought for his kids, but he didn't do it. So that's deadbeat shit. But I do know. Oh, you say he got 3 kids. Well, I only heard he had 2. He said he had 2 daughters, but whatever. Let's say he got 3. Fuck it. What I'm gonna say is, I do know, and the reason why, and the niggas don't be want to talk about this. A lot of the reason why fathers be giving up be because of these bitter ass moms, bro. No excuses whatsoever. A deadbeat is a deadbeat, and I'll hold you that way because, like I said, there's no excuse for you to walk away from your kid, even if the mother ain't cooperating. That's what we got courts for. And if she violate the court order, guess what? Either you're gonna get more custody of your child, or this bitch gonna get fined, arrested, whatever the case is. Maybe all of the above. But these women be alienating their fathers from these kids, bro. They be manipulating these kids to believe that their dad ain't no good for them, brainwash them into believing that their father ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen this shit happen. And bro, I've seen women do so much to try to destroy the relationship between the father and the child that the father be like, yo, I quit. Like, fuck it. I cannot deal with this woman. And that's what the women be wanting for real. So like they'll do shit to make the man be discouraged from being active in their kid's life, then fall back and be like, oh man, this nigga a deadbeat. You don't never do nothing for his kid. Whole time behind the scenes, behind closed doors, you doing everything you can to make sure he don't he's not a factor in his child's life. I know that for a fact. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know that. Like, I've seen that with my own eyes. I've seen niggas fight for custody of their kids. When? Like, I'm saying, like, when the fucking court order. And he'll get like 50-50 or even partial, whatever. Either way, a win is a win, right? As long as on paper it says you're entitled to a certain amount of time with your kids, I fuck with that. Even though I feel like, you know, if both parents are responsible, it should just be 50-50 hands down. Like this, like my agreement is considered like partial, but I think they misquoted that because I literally have them half the time. But anyways, not to get too deep into my situation. I forgot what the fuck I was even talking about. See, I be talking too much. But yeah, Dr. Umar kind of threw me off after that because, you know, I really got a zero tolerance policy towards deadbeats, man. I don't respect them. I've cut off close friends, like childhood friends, because I found out how the way they was moving with their kids, and I'm like, bro, I'm gonna tell you one story, and I got a lot of love for this nigga because he was like we've been good friends since we was like 8 years old, bro. Nigga, we 27. I think he like a year younger than me, but he 20. I'm 27, bro. So one day we was having a conversation. I literally got my son in my arms. We talking back and forth. He was like, yeah, man. you know what I mean? I'm fucking with this girl, blah, blah. She got 4 kids. And I'm like, 4 kids? He was like, yeah, bro, but shit, you know, it is what it is, blah, blah. And I always had issues like with him, like motivating him because I try to get him in position to make money and he just never had any drive. Nigga's a bum, you know what I mean? But he was my man, so I try to like keep him around me so like I could, have some type of influence over him and never work. But anyways, this nigga gonna go talk about this. He talking about this girl. Yeah, them kids crazy, man. I fuck with them kids. Like he's speaking real good on them kids, but I'm like, you got a daughter, right? So I'm like, yo, so what's up with your kid? I said, what's up with your kid? Man, I don't know. It's like, huh? Swear to God, I reacted right. I'm telling you, I got my son right here. I'm like, huh? He was like, yeah, man, I don't be knowing what that bitch be doing with my daughter, bro. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, I ain't even tripping. I'm like, I said, so that's your daughter. You don't give a fuck about what's going on in your daughter's life, but you over here having the time of your life with 4 kids that's not yours. He was like, no, but like she then he started like talk. He went into a whole tangent about, bro. I ain't heard nothing he said. After that, I said, yeah, this is gonna be the last conversation I had with this nigga. You know what I mean? He had reached out to me, trying to get me to help him out with like his probation and all that shit. I'm like, oh no. I said, no, I ain't helping you with that. Cause niggas always come to me whenever they need some money, whenever they try cause I got a business, they be like, yo, bro, can I say that I volunteered at your gym? You know what I mean? So I could get off my community service. And if you my man's, you know what I mean? Yeah, niggas just wipe some mirrors, whatever the case is. But like niggas always come to me for shit. Like whole time, like you out here living the time of your life with somebody else's kids, and you got your daughter, and she ain't gonna have no fucking father, nigga, because you don't give a fuck about her. I said, oh yeah. I said, this in my head, I ain't say it. All right, bro. I was like, I'll holler at you. I was like, oh, shut all right, bro. I'll holler at you. Because I ain't about to sit here and try to force you to be a dad. It's either in you or not. You know what I mean? So that was the last conversation I had with that nigga to this day. And that been a while. That was like a year ago. I don't talk, I don't hit him back up. I don't respond to his messages. Nothing. He probably on some shit like, oh, Mark switched up. No, nigga, you was a fucking deadbeat, and I don't condone that, bro. You feel me? Like I grew up around strong men. My dad was an active father. My stepfather was a good he was there for me as well. Both of my grandfathers on both sides of my family, they were stand up men that took care of their kids. Like my cousins, my uncles. I didn't grow up around deadbeats, so I never identified with them. You feel me? I had nothing but strong men around me, so that's what I grew to be. So when I see somebody out here and they lacking, so like this would be pissing me off about Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar, bro, he be talking about, oh, my black queens, my cinnamon queen, my butter pecan queens. Like he uplifting black women, and you should be. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I feel like the black women one of the most attacked people in this country. If you know, you know. But it's like you got 2 black queens that came from you, and you don't even do what you need to do to make sure you active in their life. Nigga, you traveling to Africa, you in Australia, you in Germany, you in Jamaica, you in Haiti, you just got your citizenship in Ghana. You all over the place, but you not with your kids. Then you over here talking about you gonna make this all like fully funded black school. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna do this for the community, bro. How about putting everything on pause that you doing and go find your fucking daughters, nigga? How about that? Cause your daughter, you could tell that she wants you to be like she hurt. I don't know what the whole story is. Maybe her mom did some shit behind the scenes too. I don't know. I heard some of Dr. Umar's points, and I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, you can still fight for your kids, especially that she grown now. But like you can tell that she love her father, bro. But he wasn't there, so she grew to resent him. That happens. That's not only with parent-child dynamics. That shit could be like that in any relationship you have. If you got a girlfriend and you treat them like shit, you treat them like, and they love you, they genuinely love you, and you treat them like shit, you don't give them any reassurance, you treat them like shit, you don't respect them, it's better to just break up with them. Because if you just stick around and if you just keep them around and you keep treating them like shit, bro, eventually they're either gonna they're gonna end up growing to resent you and no longer loving you, and then they just gonna walk out and then you're just gonna sit there completely realizing you took it for granted and now you heartbroken. You feel what I'm saying? If you don't spend time with the person, if you don't put love into that person, if you don't invest yourself into your children, they're not going to respect you, bro. No, you don't have money you don't have to have money to be a great parent. You don't need to be this successful motherfucker to be a great parent. My father will tell you, if he in the chat, my father had a suspended license like my whole childhood. We used to take cabs everywhere. Shit, we used to take the bus everywhere. Nigga, when I was wrestling in the Nationals, when I was wrestling in the Inter-County Wrestling League Championships, bro, my dad would get up 4 or 5 in the morning, take a cab over to a meetup spot so we could go drive out with our coaches to our tournaments that was all over the state, all over or you know, tri-state area. Like, I noticed all that. My dad was in and out of jail. He put all it, and he gave it up. He gave it up to continue being a good father. Fishing, nigga, we used to go to the flea markets. Bro, kids remember that shit. They remember that shit, like, and like, I'm gonna make sure, like, my son, we be doing shit now. We was just at the zoo. Nigga, we about to go to the Please Touch Museum. We be going to these places that do like different illusions because he loves like little gadgets and light up things, and he loves little things like that. Playgrounds, pools. He went to the beach a couple times. Like, I want my son to remember me for like really being there, being consistent, and actually making sure that he's having a good life. You feel me? My father did that for me. My father really did that for me, bro. I know we're supposed to be talking boxing, but it's slow. Fuck it. It is what it is. Unless y'all got some boxing questions, y'all want to steer it back to boxing. But yeah, bro. Them kids remember. And if y'all got any memories with y'all fathers, man, let me know. And if it wasn't your father figure, or even your mother who had to step up for your father. Because I know everybody in the chat, unfortunately, based off of the statistics, not everybody in the chat had their father. You feel me? But like, I remember that shit, bro. My pop used to take me everywhere, bro. I remember in the mornings, like on weekend mornings, we would go over to Olympia. It was this popular breakfast spot in the neighborhood I grew up in. And they used to make me the Mickey Mouse pancakes, bro. Like, I guess they had like a template. They'll fill the pancake batter around it, and it literally looked like Mickey Mouse's head. Eat that with the bacon and all that. Man, I used to love that shit. And it wasn't like the craziest things. It wasn't the most fun things, but you appreciate it. I remember them drives all around the city that me and my pop used to take. My pop would just, he was like, we out. I was young as shit, being in this passenger seat. We riding all around the neighborhood, the city. Shit, we even drive out to Jersey. I used to love going with my father to the flea market because my dad used to do paintballing heavy. And like, he'll have to fill up like his, like those tanks that's attached to the paintball guns. He used to go over there to get them refilled and shit. We used to buy like those chocolate apples. Like I remember all that shit, bro. Do I have my mom? Yeah, hell yeah. See, my mom was like my disciplinarian. Like, my mom ain't play that shit. We used to do a lot of stuff too. Like, my mom used to take me every summer. Like, our tradition was to go to Wildwood. Allergies kicking my ass. I'm not crying, y'all. I promise you. It's only this eye. Um, but my mom used to take me to Wildwood every summer, so I remember that. I remember when both my parents took me to Puerto Rico, and I was like 5, 6 years old. I still remember the trip like it was yesterday. What else? I don't know. My mom was just like very, very hard on me, but it was out of a place of love. It wasn't like malice or nothing like that. You feel me? But I had both parents. Thank God. Thank God, because I know niggas who ain't had both parents. I had niggas who both parents was drug addicts. Like down Kensington, you feel what I'm saying? Like be high all the time, and they ain't had no guidance. And they still made something of themselves. They ain't resort to the streets, none of that. I know niggas who midway through their childhood, their fathers got murdered. I know I got a homie out in Jersey. His mother died of breast cancer. Like I see that shit and I'm like, bro, I'm blessed, bro. I'm not crying. It's this eye, it's allergies, it's these cats. I promise you. If I was crying, I done cried on the live before. Just talking about my son. I don't got that ain't it today. Cobra gonna get up soon, it's okay. Nigga, when Cobra get knocked out, I'm not crying out of like being emotional. I'm crying out of laughter. Shit. But I did have my mother, man, and salute to everybody in the chat who parents is no longer with them, man. I can't imagine the type pain that is. You know what I mean? But it takes a special type of person to get through it and keep it pushing. So, I mean, shout out to everybody that went through that. Or shout out to the people who didn't have a solid mother. You know what I mean? Shout out to the people who didn't have a solid father, because that's very common, especially amongst minorities, man. Shout out to everybody who didn't resort to the streets. They didn't follow no type of stereotypes. They actually made something for themselves. And shout out to the ones who didn't have active mothers and active fathers, but still went on to be great parents. That's a beautiful thing, too. I know I had a homie who, my best friend, Justin, his father got killed when he was only a couple months old. He got murdered. A great father. He got 2 kids. He's a great father. He never had a father. Beautiful thing. My girl, her father was murdered. You know what I mean? I don't know if she wanted me to say that, but fuck it. It is what it is. She didn't know her father neither. We visited his grave out in Massachusetts. I found it. We was all the way up Massachusetts. Slime know what I'm talking about. We was up Massachusetts. And his grave was at a particular site not too far away from Boston. And we looking, we can't find it. So I'm looking. I'm like, oh, this him, right? I said, what's his name? She told me the name. Found it. She's still an amazing mother without having a father figure. I find that to be very impressive. Like, people who grew up didn't have. Shout out to people who didn't have these active parents but went on to be phenomenal parents. That's sensational. Because you could what's typical is when you follow the cycle. You know what I mean? Like the ones who got abused growing up end up being the abuser. Your daddy was in the streets, so you end up being in the streets. Like we see that happen. Shout out to the ones who break the cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I got a totally different respect for them type of people. Five View said both my wife's parents died when she was a teen. Damn. And I know, like, you know, these things gonna happen. You know, eventually, like your parents, their time gonna come. You know what I mean? Maybe your time will come before your parents. You never know how the way life work out. But it's like, damn, as a teen, bro. Good fella said she found the right young fella to fill the void in her life. What you talking about? You referring to my girl? I mean, I can never replace her father, but what I find very impressive about her I mean, we be having our issues and stuff like that. But what I find impressive about her is that she never knew how to love a man because she didn't have a father, but she found a way. She figured it out. Because that's another thing. These women don't be having father figures. And you know, they say that a father is a daughter's first love. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's the man that they learn to love, and then you know they could it's easier for them to transition and learn how to love a man after the fact. Um, then you got the ones who fathers wasn't active. They have no type of familiarity. I think that's how you say it. With men, they don't know how to interact with men. They don't know how to love men. So when they start to grow up, and it's time to, you know, socialize with men, be in a relationship with men, they don't know how to go about it. Familiarity, yeah, I said it right. I be fucking up sometimes. I know what I'm saying though. But yeah, so that's what I find impressive about her. She never had experience with men growing up and still found a way to be a great lover to a man. It takes a special type of person to do that, yo. To break the cycle it takes a special, you gotta have a special type of character to do it. Trust me. I fell victim early on in my life because my father made a lot of mistakes too, like infidelity and shit like that. And growing up, shit, I thought that was the cool thing to do. Getting bitches, yeah. I mean, but then you learn how to develop. You realize that to keep a family together, you got to have a certain type of discipline, and you know what I mean. You got to throw away that temptation. You got to throw away that lifestyle to make sure your kids grow up correctly. Now, I'm not with my son's mother. You see what I mean? I feel like it was circumstances that I had to get away from because, I think if I'd have continued partaking in that my son probably wouldn't have his father at all. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm happy to know, and I'm very content with knowing that my son can have at least 2 happy homes. I don't know what's going on over at her household, but I know that when my son is here, he's at peace. And I take pride in knowing that. He said it's called becoming a man. Absolutely. Absolutely. But some people they never get to that stage in their life. Niggas still be 50 years old, lonely, wondering where the bitch is at. Like, nigga. That's what used to fuck me up about Kevin Samuels. He's like, man, I got 4 girlfriends. I'm like, nigga. Look at you. Look what ended up happening to you because you trying to keep up with these young bitches, man. Still trying to move like a young nigga. You better sit your ass down. Slime said if Bud stops Canelo, I'm going to cry. I don't care. That's crazy. Then he also says, but if Canelo stops Bud, I'm going to cry tears of joy. I'm going to feel like a peasant when the hero slays the dragon. That's crazy. Rampage Jackson, he's a clown. I'm sorry, bro. I was real disappointed with Rampage. I didn't know he had that type of deadbeat in him. Like, he coming out saying how he want his son to be in jail. He wants his son to go to jail, do some community service, anger management. How about tapping in with your son to see why he's so angry? How about that? How about that? How about really being there for your son and stop fucking joking all the time and put your fucking cameras down, bro? Stop fucking streaming. Like, you old as shit streaming, nigga. You the oldest streamer in the streaming world right now. Still trying to move like a young nigga. Trying to be friends with your kids. See, that's the problem with a nigga like Rampage. He want to be friends with his kids because he just want to be so cool. Like, nigga, Grow the fuck up, nigga. Be a fucking disciplinarian. You a fucking MMA legend, bro. Like, obviously, you got some type of discipline. You got some consistency. You got some work ethic. Work on your fucking parenting, you dumbass nigga. You should never come to, like, if you out here saying that your kid deserves to go to jail, guess what? That's a testament to your parenting. Because if you're doing what the fuck you need to do, you know your son not going to crash out in no type of situations and put his freedom on the line. Niggas going to think before they move, nigga. Yeah, like you, yeah, I seen that shit. He always talking shit to his son. You know what I mean? I thought some of that shit was funny. I ain't gonna lie, but it's like, no, like you really like you gotta have a switch with these people, bro. You gotta have a switch with your kids. You gotta know when to play, and then you gotta know when to be a father, man. Be a fucking father, man. And then like I like young boy clearly got some type of low self-esteem, man. You wanna know how I know? Because of what the fuck his father be saying. You know what the fuck he said? He said, I got tuition money for my Asian kids and I got bail money for my black kids. Bro, what type of standards you setting for your kids, nigga? Why is you so okay with your black kids going down the wrong route, but then your Asian kids, you just hold them to such a high pedestal? It sounds like you got some self-hatred within you and you displaying that in your parenting. And it's trickling down to your kids, and now they don't know how to act. This nigga Raja, whatever the fuck his name is, he grown and shit talking about, they keep playing with me, dog. Man, they think shit's sweet, man. Like, what the fuck, nigga? Contain yourself. Where the fuck is your composure? But then at the same time, he wasn't really taught how to move as a man. Because his dumbass daddy want to play games all day. His son's mother was murdered. With all that, his son had a lot of pent up anger. And that's when you're supposed to tap in with your kids. And, you see how you got bail money for your kids? How about some fucking therapy money for your kids? Because life happens. Everybody's going to hit a traumatizing situation one way or another, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's a sudden death in the family, or they might experience they might fall victim to some heinous shit. If you know, you know. You feel me? Bail money. How about therapy money? Like you're like you intentionally said that towards your black kids, bro. He was dead serious too. He wasn't joking. He was dead serious. Like, that's how you look at your people. Like, he be letting people call him the N-word with the hard R. Bro, the moment somebody called me that, bro, I ain't even gonna say what I'm gonna do. But guess what? Niggas gonna need bail money for real. Trust me. I don't even play like that. Anybody that know me know. If it ain't your place to say that word, you not gonna say that shit around me. That shit getting addressed immediately. If you're not black, you shouldn't be saying it. That's how I give it up. I don't even want you saying nigga in a song. Words do mean a lot, man. That energy you put into your kids is gonna show. If you lacking with your kids, it's gonna show. If you put time into them, it's gonna show. If you put positive words into your kid, it's gonna show. If you put negative words into your kids, it's gonna show. They're gonna grow based off of how the way you maintain them. If you do a horrible job, or if you're lacking with them, they're not gonna bloom. They're not gonna blossom how they supposed to. Like, I be doing a little shit with my son that's not even that big of a deal. Look, show y'all. My son left-handed though, which I think is pretty dope. Like we do like little fucking like little activities and shit. I put my phone down for like an hour, 2 hours, and I try to draw a Squidward. I drew Squidward, and while I was drawing Squidward, he was drawing over. He fucked it all up. I'm not a great drawer anyway, but I was just doing it just for the sake of him. Oh, he actually put a hole in this motherfucker. But he has a good time with this. You know, it'd be crazy. Whenever I be doing little stuff like this with him and we be having like our little playtime and stuff, he be showing me like random acts of love, bro. He'll hug me, he'll kiss me. He do little shit like that. Slime. Anonymous is a black man. I don't know if he want people to know that shit, but whatever. He a black man. So I wouldn't be offended. I wouldn't be as offended in comparison to a pink person saying it. But it's still kind of wild. It's still disrespectful. But I got more of a problem with pink people saying it because they're the ones who use that word to demoralize us. But my son really appreciates you don't look black. So I have to look, man, shut your dumb ass up. I got a fun fact for y'all. I know a lot of people might not like it, nigga, but when you all you gotta do is do a DNA test. I'm actually more black than I am Puerto Rican. Let's go, champ. I know y'all hate to see it. I might not look like your typical black man, but guess what? I am, nigga. Shout out to my Afro Boricuas out there. I know y'all hate to see it. You don't look black, though. Shut up. And your mother don't look like a whore, but guess what? She is. Let's go, champ. Shout out to my Afro Boricuas out there. Let's go, champ. Yes, we are ready for next Saturday, man. Very excited because there's a lot of unknown things unknown things going into this fight. You know what I mean? In my personal opinion, shout out to my Taino Indians, though. Shout out to my Taino Indians, man. I got that blood in me as well. If you Puerto Rican, you got it too. You see what I mean? Them Taino Indians was a big part. You know, my Boricans. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to my Taino Indians. You know what I mean? But when we looking through the ancestry, man. In Philly, a white person saying nigga will get you slapped. I don't know how they do it in ATL, James, but in Philly, that's a no-no. Unless you just a cool ass nigga, be like, man, words don't bother me. Like Tim Bradley, man, y'all give words too much power, man. He can call me a nigga all day. Man, that don't bother me. But in Philly, that'll really go left. Typically. If you're around some stand-up niggas, they might step on you. But like I said, there's a lot of unknowns going into this fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford on both sides, not just on Terence Crawford's side. You know what I'm saying? For one, Canelo Alvarez, how much does he have left in the tank? You know, against William Skull, he looked older. Not gonna lie, look slower, punches look telegraphed. Is he gonna rise to the occasion in this performance, considering the fact that it's a notable opponent in Terence Crawford, who is a highly rated pound for pound level fighter to this day in the sport of boxing? So there's that. go on Canelo Alvarez's side. On Terence Crawford's side, there's a whole bunch of things. You know what I mean? We got to understand he moving up 3 weight classes. That's his words, not mine. How's his punch resistance going to be at the weight? How is his legs going to be, with that additional weight on him? How's his conditioning going to be? How is he still going to have that conditioning? Is he still going to be in great shape when he's in the trenches in rounds 8, 9, 10? You see what I'm saying? Is he going to be able to fire? Is he going to have respectable punching power like he did at 147 and 154, 140, 135? Is his power going to go up? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of things. Is he going to be able to, is his reflexes going to slow down? You know what I mean? Is the inactivity going to bother Terence Crawford in this fight? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things we don't know about Terence Crawford. You feel me? So I think as the fight is getting closer and closer, I'm getting more excited. I ain't going to lie to you, man, because I'm really rooting for Terence Crawford to pull this off. I think he's fully capable of doing so. But in my opinion, like I've been saying this whole time, I think it's an uphill battle. It's a lot that Bud is going to be going up against. He's just not going to be fighting Canelo Alvarez. There's going to be internal battles within himself as well. Because it's really hard for me to believe that Terence Crawford is going to feel the same at 68 that he did at 147 when he was, on his legendary run in the welterweight division. It's just hard for me to believe that. I don't even think he'll feel like he felt at 154 pounds, to be honest with you. I hear Bo Mag and them saying that he should have been on 168 and all that, but I think that's more confidence than I think that's more speaking on their confidence instead of like speaking on the reality. Bud is not a 168, man. He's not. But them saying that he should have been at 168, that lets me know that they believe in him going into this fight. And shout out to the boy James in the building. He says when he fought at 154, his movement and reflexes seemed slow. Now he's 38 and heavier. I just don't see how he wins. Hey, James, you got a very logical point there, brother, and that's a testament to that uphill battle that I was talking about. Terence Crawford, he hasn't really took much punishment in his career, so I think I would like to think that his body's more reserved than the average 38-year-old who done been through the trenches, had a long career in boxing. However, 38 years old is still 38 years old. And whether you've taken punishment in your career, whether you're preserved or not, eventually Father Time is going to catch up to you. Bernard Hopkins fought till he was 50. But we seen in that Joe Smith fight, he was no longer the same. We seen in that Sergey Kovalev fight, he had missed a step. You know what I mean? So people age at different times. Father Time catches up to people at different times. They might you could have a short prime, you could have a long prime. You know what I mean? Everybody's different. So it's a possibility that Terence Crawford could come into this fight and just look old. That is a possibility. You know what I'm saying? And if you are 38 years old and your body's slowing down or you missing a step and you even heavier, so you're not even at a weight that you're adjusted to, that could be an issue, and that could be a big reason as to why you lose the fight. Because you got Canelo, who also he's younger than Terence Crawford. He definitely took more punishment than Terence Crawford. So it might neutralize itself in that instance. But what I'm gonna tell you is Canelo is more adjusted to 168. He knows what he can do at 168. He literally carries every belt at 168. So he's acclimated to the division. He's dominating the division, and he's gonna know things. He's gonna know how to approach things at 168. And Terence Crawford isn't. He can have an idea, but he's not going to really understand what it's like at 168 until he performs. So Canelo Alvarez, he has the size advantage due to him being acclimated to the weight class. He has the experience advantage because not only has he fought better opposition than Terence, he's been at the weight class longer than Terence. He knows what it feels like. He knows how them punches feel when they coming back. He just knows how to approach this whole situation. You see what I mean? So Canelo definitely has some advantages, but Terence Crawford may possibly have some advantages as well, especially if Canelo is a shell of himself. Mesoamerica says, if Bud isn't, neither is. I don't know if he meant to say Caleb. I don't know if you meant to say Canelo or Caleb. It says Canelo isn't a natural 168 neither. Had to bulk up to even go up. Size isn't relevant. Skill will win this fight. But I disagree with you, brother. And the reason why size is relevant in this fight is because Terence Crawford had zero experience at 168 pounds. So there's no way you could tell me that somebody's moving up 3 weight classes and size isn't going to play a part in this fight. It's definitely going to play a part in this fight. It's just a matter of whether Bud has acclimated to the weight or he hasn't. If he's in shape at this weight or he isn't. You feel what I mean? There's no way somebody can move up 3 weight classes and say that size isn't a factor going into this fight. I disagree with you, brother. And in terms of Canelo not being a natural 168, that's a fair point. But guess what? Canelo has years of experience at that weight. So even though he may not naturally be a 168, he's beat natural 168s, and he spent a lot of time at 168, so he knows what that division comes with. He has more reassurance in what he could do at 168 in comparison to Terence Crawford. Why? Because Terence Crawford has never fought there. And you never know how difficult or how easy something is until you try it. Bud has never tried. Not yet. He going to find out next week, but not yet. Come on. We got to think about this shit objectively, man. Skill may be a factor in who wins this fight, absolutely. But to say that size isn't relevant, it don't make sense. That don't make sense. It makes it's absolutely relevant. Because even though Canelo ain't a natural 168, he is a 68. This man, that you can't say that he may not be a natural 168, but you can't say that he's not a 168. He is a 168. There's no way you can say somebody's not a 168 when they literally conquered the division and became undisputed 2 times. You see what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying, though, Meso. You making some good points. Definitely making some good points. He said that's all fair, but that's what I mean. It would take skill for Crawford to win. His size isn't going to do it for the win. He's going to have to outskill Canelo. I believe so too. I believe so too. And I think that to be honest with you, I feel like Ring Magazine and all them is trying to do their best to make sure that Bud is sitting in the pocket with Canelo and shit like that. That don't even make sense for real. I don't even know why they would suggest that. It's almost like they want Bud to lose because that's Canelo Alvarez's type of fight. You know what I mean? I want to see Bud be himself. I want to see him utilize that strong jab that he got. I want to see him use some movement like he did with Victor Postol. I want to see him get some good counter punches off like he did with Sean Porter and Kell Brook and Amir Khan and Errol Spence. I want to see him utilize some great timing that he's displayed throughout his entire career. I want to see him, take chances at certain points and turn it up like he did against Mazuma in the later rounds. Like I want to see Bud be Bud. You see what I mean? So I don't really like this notion, like this Tom and Jerry shit is still going on. And now they trying to put it on Bud. And y'all mean to tell me that Tom and Jerry agenda is not aimed towards black fighters? Miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with the bullshit. Oh, that wasn't towards black fighters. That was just towards fighters who run. All right, so who are the fighters that y'all suggest run? Then y'all naming all black fighters. So is this an attack on black fighters or not? Because I've never known Bud to be a runner. But we got people over, man, Bud better not run against Canelo. He better sit in the pocket and trade with Canelo. Why would he do that, sir? Why would he do that if that's not his best benefit? The objective is to win, not to cater to your fucking needs or cater to a style that you prefer. Get the fuck out of here. These niggas be bugging. These niggas be bugging. Because trust me, when this coming from somebody I don't have nowhere near the experience level as Terence Crawford, I'm a sub-novice comparison to Terence Crawford. But I'll tell you what, if I'm in the ring with somebody and I know that this particular route right here is the easiest way to win and I can leave without a scratch on me or the least amount of damage possible, you better believe I'm going down that route. The fuck I need to go down this hard route for you to entertain you and I got a nosebleed, I got a fucking mild concussion or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? Broken hand or whatever, sore ribs to satisfy you? when you ain't gonna put no dollar, you ain't gonna put no dollar towards my medical bill if I was to get flatlined out here, nigga, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Niggas be tripping. Fuck, they pretty much saying, fuck what's in your best interest. Fuck your health. You entertain me right now. I'm going to entertain you with this motherfucking win. That's what I'm going to entertain you with, this motherfucking win. And I'm going to do it the easiest way possible. If Avenue A is the easiest way possible where I can hit and not get hit, I'm going down that route. You know why? Because I don't want my son to be like, I don't understand my dad. I don't understand what he's saying. I can't talk to my dad. I can't communicate with my dad. Dad's always in pain. He can't play with me no more. Tripping. Bud just need to be himself. He don't need to be what motherfuckers want him to be. He just need to be who he want to be. Self-preservation is the law of the land. You do what's in your best interest. Because you only got one life and you ain't about to be living that shit for nobody. You got to live it for you. Figure Drawn said Bud had one fight at 154. He isn't even proven at that weight. And people expect he's going to go up 2 more weight classes against a proven fighter with a granted chin. That's the uphill battle that I was referring to, Figure. And I've been saying this. Y'all can look back at my old videos. I've been saying this since before the fight was even announced. As soon as I started hearing that motherfuckers was serious and all that, I'm like, yo, this is gonna, if they make this fight, it's gonna be a tough outing for Bud. Oh no, he got better skills. All right, he might have better skills than Canelo. That may be true. But skills pay the bills, but not all the time. You know what I mean? Other things may play a factor as to why them skills don't. Cause I tell you what, you can have all the skills in the world. Yeah, skills pay the bills. But if your body ain't cooperating at that weight, it's going to be hard for them skills to, follow through. Canelo ever been shot in the head? Not that I know of. How is that relevant? How is that relevant? I need to understand this double-edged. What does that have to do with anything? Is that the reason you're going to use to say why Bud going to beat Canelo? Because that's not going to play a factor, man. There's been plenty of people that have been shot in boxing and still lost fights. Sue Burrell done got shot. Niggas don't even know that. Sue Burrell done got shot and literally he had gotten lit up. He literally he avoided the hospital for 3 days before he came in and took care of that. No, he said Canelo ever been shot in the head. So he's asking if Bud ever been shot in the head. And I'm like, I don't think so. And I'm asking, why is that relevant? Why is that question even being asked? That would make 50 Cent the pound for pound king. Facts. Yo. Marlon 2631 says, if Bud succeeds, Mark, do you think that he will get more fights like this in the future where a boxer moves up 2 weight classes to fight another champion? Well, I'm going to tell you what, Bud done been a trendsetter, bro. Bud's a legit trendsetter because, and I was speaking about this with my homie, I think it was either early this morning or yesterday. Bud was really the one who was heavily influential in becoming undisputed, man, during the 4-belt era. Because when Floyd was around, Floyd didn't really prioritize becoming undisputed. He really prioritized as being a pay-per-view star. So everybody just wanted to be this pay-per-view star. They just wanted to get all the money. But Bud was like, at 140, he was like, I'm going to collect all these belts. And then a lot of fighters seen how the way it looked having all 4 of those belts. And he inspired a whole generation after him to go explore undisputed. Keep it 1,000. You know, Devin Haney followed his path. Usyk followed his path. Loma attempted to follow his path. Teofimo attempted to follow his path. He influenced everybody to get them 4 belts. He was the first one. So I said all of that to say, if he moves up these 2 to 3 weight classes, whatever number you want to put on it, and he defeats Canelo Alvarez, that's definitely gonna inspire other fighters to take those chances, because they feel like if Bud could do it, they could do it too. So yeah, I could definitely see a situation where, and if Bud comes out successful, people are gonna point to that and be like, "Oh, why can't I do it? Bud did it," and that might actually motivate them to take that chance. And to be honest with you, Bud isn't necessarily the trendsetter in that, because there's been multiple people that have moved up multiple divisions that came out successful. Bernard Hopkins, Roberto Duran, Adrian Broner. I think he was at 35. He skipped 40 and won a title at 47. Then went to 40 and grabbed the title. There's been a few fighters who've been able to do so. But I think that none of those guys that I mentioned outside of Roberto Duran and outside of like Roberto Duran, because that Sugar Ray Leonard win is like one of the best wins in boxing history, in my opinion. None of those guys are gonna get that Canelo. Like, they might have moved up 2, 3 weight classes, like Broner did it with Paulie. Canelo ain't no Paulie. Paulie ain't no Canelo. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Roy Jones moved up to fight John Ruiz, I think from light heavyweight to heavyweight. John Ruiz ain't no Canelo. Canelo ain't no John Ruiz. So I think that Bud could be very influential in having people move up and face the top dog. You feel what I'm saying? Like, for example, that might entice like a Benavidez to fight a Usyk or some shit like that. I know that might not turn out well, in my opinion. Benavidez is my guy. But like, if Bud comes out successful, that'll definitely put a battery and like real competitors in the sports back to do some great shit, to attempt to dare to be great, right? So, yeah, man. Hope that answers your question. Shout out to Marlon. That's a Bugatti Marlon got in his profile pic. Salute. I seen a Bugatti one time. One time in my life, I seen a Bugatti down Center City. It was all black and orange. I think it was all black, but they had like an orange trim. Mesoamerica says, I'm not a fan of it. I'd rather guys stay and dominate in their weight class. As a fan, it gives us more entertainment from whoever our favorite is. When they go up, they lose a little every time. I agree. I definitely agree. I would have much rather, in all honesty, seen Terence Crawford attempt to take over 154. That's actually what I called for after the Errol Spence fight. If 147 is too big of a cut for you, or is really hurting you and it's getting really tough to make, and to be honest, Bud did look kind of crazy on that scale in that Errol Spence fight. So I supported him going up to 154. Well, what made me a big supporter of 154 was not only because he had trouble making 47, but because of the competition that was at 154. So I was really looking forward to seeing a fighter, Jermell Charlo. I'd have loved to have seen that fight. You know what I mean? Unify them titles with Bakram. Unify them titles with Sebastian Fundora. You know what I mean? Give Jaron Ennis a chance, who's going to be a top contender at 154. Man, I would have loved to have seen Bud face those guys in that division. You feel what I mean? But I guess Bud feels like he been, at his time at top rank, he really wasn't getting what he felt like he was worth. So I think he's trying to catch up before it's all too late. I think that he's trying to get every dollar that he could get before it's all said and done. And Bud may possibly retire after this fight, especially if he comes out successful. So I think Bud is just trying to make up for lost time. Like, damn, I was only making $2 million. I should have been making $8 million. I should have been making $10 million. I should have been making $15 million. So right now, he understands that, you know what I mean? He needs to make up for lost time, in my opinion. I know he got money. I heard he got a crazy real estate portfolio. You know what I mean? All that good stuff, which is great to hear. I love fighters, using their money to create more money. But I think Bud is understanding, like, man, I could have made so much more. So, you know what I mean? I got to put my business hat on and from further notice, take fights that make the most sense to me. Mesoamerica, I don't know if you're new to the channel, brother, but I did an interview with Bomac. I don't even know how long ago. This had to be like a year ago. Let me see. I'll tell you right now. I could probably pull the interview up for y'all to see. I did an interview with Bomac a year ago, and I had asked him after this Canelo fight, will he retire? Oh, look, it's actually right here. Hold on, let me pull it up. This is my video, so it's not like motherfuckers gonna shoot my shit down and nothing like that. But let me go ahead. Let me put it up for y'all to see. This is a reminder, y'all. This is coming directly from Mazuma TV. Let me look through the history, pull this up. Let me share this. Oh shit, no, that's not it. Right here. I definitely gotta tap in with Bomac after this fight. Let me share the screen. Let's pull this up right here. All right. Out of the arena, as he was walking out to the arena for one of, I believe, I don't know exactly what fight it was, but it was most recently. I don't know if it was Shakur and De Los Santos, but he's made it clear that he's only looking at 2 fights right now. You know what I'm saying? The Earl rematch, and he's looking at the possibility of a Canelo fight at 168, which I think is, you know what I'm saying? That's just Bud being the competitive man that he is. I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I love it. So, but let's say there's a situation where they may not present itself. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo, he said he's focused on Munguia. He may possibly fight Terence himself, and then he might fight Jamal. You know what I'm saying? That's something that Eddie Reynoso said. He might fight Jamal. If there's a situation where that opportunity doesn't present itself, which I hope it does, but if it doesn't, will Bud walk away?
Man, you know what? That's a good question, man, because I just told him just the other day, man, you can accomplish everything. You know, you ain't have nothing left to prove to nobody. You know, of course, you want to honor his obligation on that contract because Spence gave him an opportunity, so it's only right for him to keep his word. And as far as the Canelo goes, man, that's just Bud. Like you said, Bud being Bud. Bud want to challenge himself. If he must see something where he can beat Canelo. So that just tells me, okay, you got your hands full. Let's go out there. Let's figure out a way we can beat this kid and move forward. And I'm gonna ride with him for one, because only way you're gonna be great, man, if you take chances. And that's the chance that he's taking. And people thinking like, oh, that's crazy, man. Go 2-3 weight class, man. That's gonna way up that for, man. Goddamn. You know what I'm saying? But listen, one way you're gonna be great, man, if you challenge yourself, or you just you bet on yourself. And that's one thing he's doing. He betting on himself. And so I can feel him too, man. And I've seen him do it all the time. I see him do it every other day in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna ride with him on it. And if he can't get it, he probably will walk away, because nobody else doesn't bring anything to the table. You know what I'm saying? They don't bring numbers. They don't bring in a bunch of with good numbers. There's good money. You know what I'm saying? So even though Canelo is a big dude, that's all right though. He's been sparring and fighting big dudes all his life, so he's just another feather in his hat.
Yeah, I heard it. Y'all heard it from the man. He said that if Bud don't get the Canelo fight, he might walk away. So is there a possibility that now that he has the Canelo fight, he comes out successful, does he walk away? Yeah, Meso. He said nobody else brings anything to the table. And after Canelo, there is definitely nobody left then. That's the point that I'm trying to make. He told you that shit himself. Definitely got to bring Bomac back. That was a great interview. That was one of my favorite interviews that I did. So, yeah, we gotta tap in with them after the fact. I'm gonna let a couple, after the fight, we gonna let a couple months go by. You know what I mean? We gonna touch bases on the whole situation. You feel what I mean? For sure. Go get the money in the building. He says You think Bud should walk away and retire, or would you like to see him fight another fight? I mean, it's ultimately up to Bud, man. You know what I mean? Uh, Me personally, as a fan, I would like to see him, go to 54, and if he look, I just like if Bud comes up short, I don't see him retiring with a. Oh, I don't. I really don't. I think he's too much of a competitor for that. I think he even brought up the possibility of going back down to 54 after the fact. So something tells me he gonna end up going back to 54 and probably getting a big fight or two, whatever the case is. But I would like to see him go to 54 and fight a Jamel. I would like to see the Jamel Charlo fight, Sebastian Fundora, whoever the champions are at the time. Whenever he comes back, whoever the champions are, I would like to see him fight one of them. I think he could beat any of them, to be honest with you. So yeah, me personally, I would like to see him fight another fight. Why not? Especially if he looks good in this Canelo fight. Why not? How do I get in contact with these people you tapped in like that? Kinda. You gotta do your research, brother. I mean, I've been in the boxing world for a long time, man. Outside of YouTube, help manage fighters, own a boxing gym. Um, Came up with a lot of these dudes that's currently relevant in boxing. Jerron Ennis, uh, Bozy Ennis. I mean, know that whole family. Knew them for a few years. Stephen Fulton. Never trained around him or nothing like that, but I'm familiar with him. We got mutual friends. I got mutual friends with a lot of these dudes, so it's easy to get in contact with them. But don't get it fucked up, Meso. That's a lot. There's a lot of people that'll spin you for interviews, bro. I got turned down a lot of interviews. But Bomac, the reason how I got the Bomac interview is because I know somebody. I know this girl who actually used to work with Top Rank, and I guess she knew Bomac through her business situation with Top Rank. So she the one who connected me for that interview. Um, Tito Mercado had trained at my gym at one time, and we exchanged contact information. I was able to get that interview. Breadman, I knew Breadman since a young bull because one of my pros used to spar J Rock and Karan Davis. I just know a lot of them, bro. Bozy and them. The reason why I know them is because I used to have pros go spar Boots. So, yeah. Goodfella says I thought Turkey asked Crawford not to retire after the Canelo fight earlier today. I mean, he probably did. He probably did, but one thing about Bud is that he not gonna tell nobody. He not gonna have nobody tell him what to do. You feel me? Like Crawford, one of them niggas where he gonna do whatever the fuck he want to do. So I heard him say in an interview that he was like pretty much he not gonna have nobody tell him how to fight. You know what I mean? Like he heard the whole time in jail. He said, "Man, ain't nobody gonna tell me how to fight. I'm gonna fight however I need to fight." And then I also heard him say that like he was, "Oh, they're gonna make you fight in Riyadh," and he was like, "No, I don't." You know what I'm saying? Like he don't even feel like he need to be fighting in Riyadh. Like he move off the beat of his own drum. You feel me? So even if Turkey requested that, Bud would probably be like, man, like, I might stick around, I might not. It all depends on how he feels. You know what I mean? But what, 38 years old? Is he actually 38? 38 years old, and he got over 40 fights. You know what I mean? Why not? Well, he's 37 years old. Shit, he about to be 38 in a couple weeks. Actually, the nigga might be he gonna be 38 like 2 weeks after his fight with Canelo. So yeah, basically 38 years old. So man, listen, got over 40 fights, 41 fights to be exact. You know what I mean? That shit piles up, bro. Niggas don't want to be in the game that long. I understand. I want to know who y'all want me to interview though, man. Who y'all want Mazuma TV to interview the most? Like, who y'all really want me to collect? I know Boots. I know Boots. You know what I mean? But I want to get some different names. Like, who you think would be a slept on interview? I wanna interview Abdullah Mason, but I don't think I know anybody that know Abdullah. You know who I might be able to get? I might be able to get Bruce Carrington. I might be able to get Bruce Carrington. I already done had, bro, Meso, I tried to get Zayas, bro. I already done told everybody about that situation. Benavidez, I got added. Karma Serene, shout out to Karma Serene. Karma Serene got me his publicist's email. So whenever he's gonna be, in the midst of doing interviews, I should be a part of the lineup. Hopefully, I gotta follow through. I gotta tap in with Karma and see what's going on. But that's a possibility. Shakur, I could probably get that. Probably. Cause I seen he do interviews with channel, bro. He be doing interviews with channels that got like 150 subs. I'm like, what the fuck? Carmel already spent me, bro. See, that's what I'm saying, Meso. Like the niggas you mentioning, I've been trying to get that. Devin, he hard to get in contact with. He be opening my DMs though. He reached out to me one time. I had a nigga who was trying to do like a promo thing with him, so I had reached out to him, and Devin actually responded. He's like, tell him to tap in with me. But outside of that, he hasn't really responded. But I heard Devin say that he wants to do interviews with small channels. But and a lot of people referred me. So shout out to everybody on Twitter that was referring me. I seen a lot of mentions with my name on it. But I don't know. Bill Haney came through. Bill Haney came through on the channel a while back, and we chopped it up. We asked some good questions. That was a great live. I spoke to Bill before. I haven't been able to speak to Dev yet. Jermaine Ortiz, his team gave me a run too. I could try though. I think I just got to go directly to Jermaine because I think his promoter spun me. Keith Thurman. How we feeling about Keith? Bro, I had Jermaine Ortiz. I don't know if that's still his promoter. But I had Jermaine Ortiz's promoter's number. Reached out to him. He was like, oh, yeah, we could do it, blah, blah, blah. Let's do it after the holidays. I reached out after the holidays, nothing. Cool boy Steph. I know people that know him, but I be feeling like niggas be like, I don't know, bro. Niggas just be acting funny. I know somebody personally that trained in my gym that was real good friends with him, but I don't know. It's like niggas be scared to like, see, I'm the type nigga that, like, if I have a plug and you need it and I fuck with you, I'm going to plug you in. Did that shit many times. Outside of this YouTube shit, plenty of times. Niggas act like they fuck with you and shit, won't even plug you in with nothing. But I do know somebody else. But Fulton not really fond of, like, interviews right now, so I don't know if that'll be a quality one. I think Atif could probably get me that cool boy interview. I'm going to reach out to Atif. Man, let me write this shit down, y'all. Hold on. Try to write this down. Jermaine Ortiz. I'm not adding Carmel because that nigga he be on some weird shit. Cause we confirmed that for the interview twice and he ignored me both times on some suck. I think that's some sucker shit for real. But who else? Keith Thurman, cool boy stuff. That's possible. David Benavidez. I gotta follow up with Karma about that. Abdullah Mason. I don't know anybody that knows Abdullah. Lamont Roach. I tried to get an interview with his pop. I had my boy Mike Fox reach out to him, but I never heard nothing back. See, I be trying, bro. But it be even my boy Jamil YSM, he's like, bro, these niggas is really hard to get in contact with to do interviews. It's like you got to pull up on them in person. Like in person, they'll do it. Like outside of that, unless they really fuck with you, they're not gonna give you no type of time. I do not want to interview Berlanga, bro. Meso, you a troll for that. I'm gonna write Shakur. I spoke to him on Jagar Talk with Najee coon ass before Najee exposed himself. You know what I mean? Devin Haney. I want to write a list and just cook from there. I try to get Bam, bro. Bam do not fucking. He makes it so hard to get a hold of, bro. You know how many interviews I had? You know how many more interviews I would have, y'all, if niggas was willing to. And like Mike Fox, he tried to plug me in. That wasn't his fault. But like, bro, there's a lot of fighters I know personally that would not plug me in, bro. Jesus Ramos. Is that a desirable interview? Do people want to see that? I'll write that down. I want to get Blair on, so I'm gonna add Blair to the list. I think that'd be funny. I already interviewed Rowley. I had Brian Norman Sr., Brian Norman Jr. I already had his pop, but he pretty much be like, my son do interviews when he felt like it. So Tim Bradley, I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about Tim, bro. Tim be low key cooning. I could get I think I could really get that Super L interview. My pop gonna have to get that done for me though, and I'm gonna need a translator because I'm not completely fluent in Spanish. I speak Spanish probably like if I had to give myself a percentage on Spanish, probably like 45%. Boxing is a thinking game, absolutely, especially at a high level. Ralph said, Berlanga, you a troll. You low key need to get timed out for that. I wouldn't actually mind a Keith Thurman interview, but I don't know if he gonna like my questions. I think Keith the type nigga that if he don't like a question, he get frustrated, and I don't got the energy for that shit. So the list I got is Jermaine Ortiz, Stephen Fulton, David Benavidez, Lamont Roach, Shakur Stevenson. Lamont's gonna be a hard interview because like he getting all this attention from like big ass streamers. So it's like, why would he do an interview with me when he got contacts with fucking streamers who got hundreds of thousands of subscribers? Nigga was just on a stream with I Show Speed. He's like the most popular streamer in the world. So that might be tough. Antoine Russell. I'm gonna put that one. I think I could get that Bruce Carrington one though, man. I really think, and if I could get that Bruce Carrington one, Bruce Carrington is cool with a lot of niggas, so he could probably put me on. Man, that might open up the top rank. That might open up the top rank lane for me. Yeah, Meso, but I told you Zaya is very hard to get in contact with, brother. But I'll write his name down. Trust me, I done tried. I done had to, bro. Them niggas, they treat Xander like he motherfucking Jesus Christ in the flesh. What about some female boxers, bro? I tried. They just as difficult as the guys. I try to get a what the fuck is her name? Tam Tebow. That that middleweight contender that's with Jake Paul over at MVP. Alicia Baumgartner, I'm not interviewing her. She probably don't even like me anyway. I know she's seen what I've been saying about her. Who else? Who else? Manny Serrano. That'd be a good one. I don't know. I tried to get an interview with Shannon Ryan too, but they ignored all my emails. I don't know, bro. I really be trying behind the scenes. I be trying behind the scenes, bro. I be doing shit. Like right now, I'm in the building process because I'm a small channel. So it's like a lot of people, they overlook me. You feel me? So it'd be kind of tough to get certain people on. Floyd Schofield, I don't really want to interview the pop. If I was a, see, that's the thing. Like, if I want to interview Floyd Schofield, I pretty much got to interview his dad too. But his dad don't let his son do individual interviews. I feel like most of the time. I wrote Bam down. Did I write Bam? Yeah, I did. But I don't, bro. If you seen the DMs that I sent Bam, it looked like I'm talking to myself. I'm talking about like 5, 6 DMs unanswered. I had to look at that John. I was like, yo, Mark, you looking crazy. But yeah, Lauren Price. I don't know Lauren Price. I gotta do some research on who that is. You know who I would interview? I would interview Hitchens. I feel like Hitchens would be a good interview. I had my thoughts about him. You feel me? So I got Jermaine Ortiz, Stephen Fulton, David Benavidez, Lamont Roach, Shakur, Dev, Bam, Jesus Ramos, Blair Cobbs, Brian Norman Jr., Subriel Matias, Antoine Russell, Bruce Carrington, and Xander Zayas. Ray Ford. Ooh, I forgot about that one, Ralph. Yep. I think I could get that Ray Ford interview. I could definitely get that Ray Ford interview. I know a couple people that know him personally. I'm gonna actually cook up on this, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, this is motivating. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got 15 people. Get Diego De La Hoya. I want to know what happened in his career. What happens in his career? I ain't heard about him. Ain't he like Oscar cousin? Damn. I'll tell you what happened. He just got knocked out against he got knocked out against Victor Morales. He ain't never come back. Yeah, he's Diego De La Hoya is Oscar's cousin. That's interesting. I don't know. He 31. Nico Ali. Eh. Do I interview fighters that only speak English, or would you interview fighters that speak Spanish? I would definitely. I got Subriel on my list, so I would definitely interview Spanish fighters. I just would need a translator. Go 787 said he'll do my translations. So I got him on social media. I could reach out to him. But yeah, I'll definitely interview Spanish fighters. That's easy. But anyways, man, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and show love as always. If y'all could go ahead and hit the like button, that'd be very much appreciated, man. If y'all appreciate the content, if you enjoy these conversations, y'all go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,100 mark. About to hit that 3,200 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation in the mob for making this possible. See what I mean? I'll be back at y'all with another live 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world, man. Until then, I hope you have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.